Let's go check out our ship and find out why I couldn't use my fighters in that last battle. Because I want my ship to work the way I expect it to. I do have a fighter deck. So, what's the deal? So this is our new gun that we got. So it's a lot weaker damage-wise. Less shots. Oh, but it can be used twice per turn. So it's essentially the 4 shots dealing 21 damage, but I can separate the shots. Maybe someone is needed to command them? Maybe. We have all the posts filled, though. So this is better than the... other one. This one. So let's replace that. So we've now got the 2 shots, but can be fired twice. And then this is our new plating we just got. Negates 5 damage on each side, reducing internal fires by 50% versus 9 points of damage on the 4 and 5 points on all other sides. I'm not worried too much about internal fires. It doesn't happen often. The one we've got, the 9 points of damage, is probably better. See if a post might have some special for allowing fighters. I can look into that. It's probably the Master Cannoneer. So if I... No. It's all about torpedoes, which is the same slot on the ship. And I don't know why we don't have access to any shield stuff. Surely that's the post he was in before. And we had several of these abilities. But it looks like it's thinking we don't have any shield abilities unlocked. Maybe we don't. Maybe I kept ignoring it because we never actually take that much damage and need to refresh our shields. That could be. He might actually not have any abilities to use. But no, I don't think there's anything we need for the fighters. And I'm pretty sure Argento was the one we had in that slot normally. Yeah, let's take that off and then reassign it. In case that somehow magically changes things. We didn't take any damage in that fight, which is great. So yeah. I don't think we saw the... Yeah, we've got one-way road here. We didn't figure out where that takes place. But it's somewhere in this system. Rumors, one-way road. Koronus ship went dark shortly after its arrival in the system. Fate could be worth investigating. I have to assume it's this ice world point of interest. So let's check it out while we're here. This does look new, actually. At least it's not looking familiar. So this probably is what we're looking for. Blood Sign Decree. Decree of gubernatorial will, by the grace of the God Emperor of Mankind, we, Jamon Nigel von Powen, for the good of our world and the deliverance of our people from the wrath of the heavens and the fury of distant stars, hereby command to provide for the needs of the governor's office, no more and no fewer than 20 faithful young men and maidens picked in accordance with our instructions, each 7th rotation around the heavenly body, robust and firm in body and spirit, voluptuous in shape, of similar height and stature, dainty and beautiful, fair of hair, and with eyes the color of midday sky, so shall it be. Okay. Sure. Dog? What? Where are you running off to and why? Got more goods that we can check out. Ancient servitors, more ancient servitors. Lots of dead bodies. Or Imperium. What do we have here?
My house would be proud of me.
Desiccated manuscripts date back a dozen centuries. This palace is probably one of the oldest outposts of the Imperium. Bonebreaker Maul. Seems reasonably powerful. Some more battle stimulant medikits. And warp grenades. Requires heretical zealot. Well, we're not going to be able to use that. Something up here I missed. Also, I appreciate the flag bearer ability, but the amount of filling up my notification as we walk around is kind of crazy. Let's check out this way first. Yeah, Glado. I recognize there's goods nearby. Enforce light boots. Whenever the wearer parries an attack, they immediately strike back at the attacker. If this attack deals damage, the wearer performs kick to push the enemy away. That sounds good. Whenever the wearer deals damage with a heavy weapon to an enemy, that enemy suffers +1 stack of perplexed. If 3 or more stacks of perplexed are already on the target, whereas attacks also inflict staggered. I don't think we have anyone that's doing heavy or wielding heavy weapons. Maybe, do these count as heavy? Like maces? Didn't say it anywhere. Death Star Stardy's equipment. Whenever the wielder performs a heroic act or a desperate measure, they gain +2 action points, +6 movement points, and 8 temporary wounds. Well, let's say for Abelard, we'll give you the boots for parrying. How's it compare to what you're wearing, actually? Whenever the wearer performs an area attack, they instantly provoke attacks of opportunity from all adjacent enemies. Yeah, I think this is going to be better than that.
Compared to naval service,
oh,
was barely
I had Abelard do that tech use because he was single selected person. That could have turned out poorly. Break into the safe.
Operation successful.
We don't need a second bone breaker or more warp grenades. We can't climb over that. Let's head out here.
Grant me the wisdom to perceive. My Auspex has detected something.
Broken Vox. I cannot go on like this. Helena. I cannot. I serve my master loyally, as did my father and his father before that. But this cannot continue. No, I'm tired. To bury the corpses of murderers and traitors to the Imperium is the noble thing to do, but now I must conceal the deaths of these innocent young men and women. They are almost children. Cursed be the day when the governor became the ruler of this world. I will break this vicious circle. This I promise. Tonight I will flee the estate, and together we will journey to the Star Speakers. They will warn the servants of the God Emperor about the heresy lurking in these walls. They will return for us. They will save us. Just wait for me, Helena. Just wait until I return.
Searching is my observance.
You saw that chest of goods through the wall? Your eyes are very good. Okay, we've got a bunch of damaged combat servitors that I'm suspecting we're going to get into a fight with. Although they're not showing up red, so maybe not. Maybe everything's fine. Maybe everything's fine. We can technically talk to them.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Alright, let's talk to this ancient servitor. Servitor's mechanisms are old and obsolete, and the organic parts have been replaced with improperly sized counterparts. Okay, let's keep looting. There is so much stuff around here.
A new challenge for me?
Antitoxin, battle stimulants, immobilizing grenade sounds cool. Nope, we want to keep that. And toxin grenade. All sound great. Corrupted noble. We have a living noble surrounded by all these servitors in this run-down, broken place. Before we talk to him, let's wander around, make sure there's nothing else to see.
None shall stand in my way.
A lushly dressed, vaguely human-like carcass sits reclined in a massive Calixian oak armchair. Calloused brownish blue patches cover the dead flesh, overlapping one another like snake scales. One of the hands, claws of exposed bone, supports a grotesquely bloated face. I'm seeing scales, claws. Are you Gene Stealer? Maybe? Awareness test succeeded. The creature's chest remains motionless and its eyes stay tightly closed, and yet the muscles on the distorted face twitch ever so briskly when you approach. What? Cassia covers her mouth with both hands, trying to speak quietly, even as her body is shaking. The Lady Navigator's wide open eyes are brimming with terror. I want to leave this place right now. She probably sees something we don't, almost certainly. And if we don't leave now, bad things are going to happen. Who are you? Speak up. The creature's eyelids flutter open, searing you with an unnatural glow of its yellow pupils. The disfigured lips twist and stretching the smile wider and wider, until the thin skin bursts with a sharp snap, revealing row after row of pointed teeth. Ko magna rofagnal hift. The twisted, guttural voice bursts from the creature's throat, and it roars with laughter. Kai Morag, Alentak, do not get in the way. The projectile strikes right between the creature's glowing eyes, barely piercing the scale-covered forehead. The blood, black and viscous like tar, slowly runs down the malformed face. Do not think me a coward, Lord Captain, but I would prefer to leave this place as soon as we can. Who knows how many such creatures lurk in the palace depths? Okay, Maprakas. There are no vowels in that word. My human mouth cannot make that sound. A long snake-like tongue emerges from the creature's mouth and licks its own blood, savoring it like wine. The wound from the shot heals before your very eyes, as if it was never there. Welcome to my feast. The creature idly jiggles its chins in an effort to remember human speech, its jowls melding into its shoulders and faintly glowing ribcage. A peculiar accessory shaped like a scarab and covered in luminous patterns has painfully lodged itself into the flesh of this creature, something that undoubtedly used to be a man. Lord Xenos test succeeded. You've heard of the powerful Xeno artifacts from the distant Halo stars, discovered by humanity millennia ago. Artifacts that belong to a race more ancient than the most venerable among the Eldari. Artifacts most impure, fatally dangerous, forbidden in the Imperium, on threat of the cruelest of tortures, and yet capable of granting the darkest of human desires, a means to cheat death and embrace life eternal. The Halo device should not have gone to such a weakling. I will take it. and then destroy it, hopefully. Attack, be gone, monster, or just run. Cassia said to run. Abelard also says that we should run. Do I attack or do we run? I'm gonna attack. This seems to be the end of the area. I didn't see any other doorways off of here. So hopefully it's just him and all the servitors. And a bunch of broken servitors seem easy enough. I don't know how dangerous he's going to be. Bas und Jefstek Amst blah. I can't say that. The elucidator fails to interpret the twisted speech taking root in your mind like a pestilent weed. The creature contentedly smacks its lips. I will finally taste the savory flesh again.
Submit, and you'll die quickly.
Yeah, so the servitors are joining us. I don't see any other paths, so I think it's just him and the servitors. Had to look around to verify. Servitors are all quite damaged, so not really worried there. 1900 health. Oh boy. He's difficulty 6. 135 toughness. He's got natural armor, disturbed. Each stack inflicts a -10 penalty to fellowship and willpower. He's got 3 stacks. Choosing the game. At the end of his turn, the corrupted noble chooses his prey, applying the game for the feast effect on them. Creatures with this effect suffer 50% more damage from the noble's attacks. If the noble hits this target, he regains 10% wounds and removes this effect. He chooses the target, and if he manages to hit them, he gains back 10% of his wounds. So, 190 wounds every turn. Yikes. At the end of his turn, the corrupted noble moves to the nearest servitor with either the searching for blood or searching for fear effect active. This movement does not provoke attacks of opportunity. If there are no servitors with such effects, the corrupted noble stays put. Bestial rage, natural armor, combat master, transformed. Has a non-natural immunity to stun, slowed, and staggered effects. Yet maybe... he permanently suffers 3 stacks of disturbed. At the start of his turn, he restores 5% of his maximum wounds for each creature with bleeding in combat. Suffers 125% more fire damage? Really? Really? You take extra fire damage. And then the Halo device. The wearer gains the following: more strength, toughness, agility, and perception. Uses agility instead of intelligence, toughness instead of willpower, and strength instead of fellowship. Immunity to injuries and traumas. Regenerates toughness bonus wounds per turn, which is going to be pretty small. And whenever the wearer kills an enemy, any damage they deal is increased by 1% until the end of combat, while their intelligence, willpower, and fellowship are reduced by 1 until the end of combat. Alright, let's figure out where we want to stand. I have no idea. I'm assuming most of the servitors are going to be melee focused. Combat servitors probably have weapons. Let's move you guys out of the way a bit. Break the servitors? Yeah. Probably. There's just not a ton of cover around. Abelard, Pascal, we'll send you to deal with some of the servitors, I suppose. Then Cassia, you can go into cover here. And I will have cover there. Sure. Seems reasonable. We'll get some melee here.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
We can give the two of us some dodge bonuses, which probably is wise.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
And then for crit bonuses, we'll give those to Irliet, as usual.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Then
Isn't
your
this a
usual
job for the
boosts.
serfs?
So I am understandably slightly worried about that item I applied to myself that raises my psi rating for the first attack in combat 3 higher, or first attack each round. Am I going to do crazy damage to myself? Let's see, what does this do? Unleashes a torrent of psykers staff power level flaming projectiles, each dealing some amount of damage. Projectiles have a 60% chance to fly along the central line, 40% chance to deviate to one or more lateral lines. Creatures that are hit by 2 or more projectiles gain the warp burn effect. So I can't light myself on fire with that. If I use this, 9 to 12 damage. That's what we're looking at. Versus something like this. Yeah. Like, glad I've got the Pyromancer's staff because it feels more fitting, but no. I don't see... I thought normally my psi rating is listed somewhere where I can see it. Anyway, 11 to 20 is not crazy. Ignite. Orchestrate flames.
Suits my purposes.
Then we'll do a run and gun.
Easy.
And that'll allow me to light you on fire.
Already done.
Good amount of damage. Okay. Cassia. No, don't hit me. No, she can only hit really that one. It's not great. You try and immobilize him, but I think he is immune to being immobilized. And this is a line, but we're not going to have a lot of enemies in the line, sadly. Unless I move her out of where she's at.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
That's something, and you're now burning 4, which is unimpressive. Can you actually see him? I mean, it claims so. Because if she can light a few more of them on fire, then when Ignatius uses his ability to increase fire damage, it'll hit a lot more.
Me? If you
Might as well
insist, Lord Captain.
light a few more. And then, yes, we'll use this, which will allow her to give Ignatius a turn.
I'll show you why navigators are feared.
If I tried Melta, we're going to hit the Mastiff, unfortunately. Because he's poorly placed. If I could go somewhere here. I could also just do a bunch of ignites. Melta does double the damage and then hits a line. It also reduces their armor, that's true. Versus Ignite. Doesn't melt their armor. I don't know. Let's just go with ignites. Let's just try and take you out fast.
Suits my purposes.
Since you take extra fire damage, I may as well go to town on you.
Not a problem for me. Suits my purposes.
And that's only going to do 36 more damage, so we need to just hit him again.
Nothing I can't do. Opposing me was your biggest mistake.
Alright.
I'll bring glory to my bloodline.
Then... I guess I should just focus on the ancient servitors rather than the combat servitors, because they're nearly dead anyway.
Suits my purposes.
That takes 0 AP, so I don't need to save an AP.
Already done.
And it looks like the rest are all combat servitors. Yeah? Yeah.
You didn't stand a chance.
That's still 0? Okay. Just making sure. I'm not gonna
Problem for me.
be unable to use it.
Opposing me was your biggest mistake. Suits my purposes. Nothing of value has been lost.
We keep getting our point back. There we go. We've now run out of AP. And Rebel and Slaughter, which will allow me run and gun to get another attack going.
Nothing I can't do. You didn't stand a chance.
There we are. Now we'll finally do Inflame.
Suits my purposes.
Should hit all of them pretty hard.
Painted black.
I guess the ancient servitors weren't as far gone as I hoped they would be. It's fine. And I'll orchestrate flames on you because you're far away. Why not? So that you stay burning a while. Yeah, that's the end of my free turn. I guess move the melee area to here. Oh, I missed. Thought it was covering his square, but I guess not. Oh well. It's fine. And you moved out of it anyway. Alright, Juliet. What can you do? If you just took a shot on some of them, not very much. Let's have you focus on some of these more distant ones.
If it serves your cause. This tedium is beneath me.
Alright. Perfect spot. It's fine.
If it serves your cause. I am not your xenos pet monkey. Another soul slips beyond the veil.
Good solid hit.
If it serves your cause.
Perfect. And
I understand your intent.
that seems fine. Next, Abelard.
It will
Charge
be
him,
done.
please. Doing essentially nothing. Plus 30 machine damage with 50% armor penetration. Okay. Let's do... Wall of Rockcrete, protect Pascal, and others that end up moving up.
I will do my duty.
And then
It will be
Reckless
done.
Strike. And now we'll use this one.
Indeed. Target well struck.
And back to my turn. Well, I might as well get into a line and take out both of you with a Melta.
Nothing of value has been lost.
And Ignite on you.
My purpose it.
Bit of a scary fight in some places, but not really. Corrupted Noble looks scary, but lots of fire. And he was weak to fire, which is bad for him. Tempestuous Carapace requires heavy armor proficiency, so if we compare it to, say, Abelard, it's worse armor, worse deflection. Yeah, it's just not good. Do you have heavy armor proficiency? You don't, oddly enough. So yeah, we just don't care about you. And then the Halo device. Where gains the following: a bunch of strength, toughness, agility, perception, blah blah blah, regenerates 2 wounds per turn. We could technically wear it. Don't really want to reduce my willpower every turn whenever I kill someone. That feels bad. But we'll take it with us. And it doesn't look like there's anything to acquire off of the servitors. So mission accomplished. And not Gene Stealers, I was wrong. Let's head back to the Koronus Expanse map and verify that that rumor removed. And it was. So we need to go back to Dargonus to finish up the Arbides quest. We also have a bunch of rumors to check out. If it's a melee character better, give it to Ulfar. Ha! Make our Space Marine immortal. I don't know. So we're basically at the end of this stream. Probably going to go to Dargonus and finish up that quest. But then, before I rush to some of these other quest lines, part of me wants to go through all of these rumored areas. See what's up with them and if we can interact with them. There's still this Eye of the Magnetic Storm that we don't know what to do with. It's been bothering me for ages, but yeah, since there's so many of them, I kind of want to spend at least the start of next stream trying to sort out which ones we can interact with. But probably we'll start here at Dargonus. During the warp voyage, Navigator Sanctum reported there are warp reefs right on the ship's course. The fragments of the Sea of Souls give a material form. Navigator may either steer the ship past the dangerous region or risk approaching the ragged formation to gain valuable insight. I'm not feeling super confident about that Lord Warp check. Let's just steer past it. 15% chance, that is how you ruin your ship. Voidship followed the route charted by the navigator and successfully passed the troublesome region. So yeah, I think we will stop here next time we go into Dargonus and talk to the Arbites, sort out that, and then yeah, check out some of these rumors. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next week. Bye.